Hello everyone and welcome to Friday. Guess what I get to do today? I get to go to the doctor. Why am I going to the doctor? They need to do blood work. Why am I having blood work done? I think I have...
Physical.
Huh?
You need a physical.
I need a physical. So blood work is part of the physical, but the reason that I'm doing all of this in the first place is I think I have high cholesterol. Here's why. Well, for one, it runs in the family, so that's a good start. The other day, I went to the optometrist. I had to have an eye appointment. To be honest, with how crazy of a whirlwind weekend we had with Runaway Guys Coliseum, I can't even remember if I filmed that or not. That was before we left. Anyway, I went to the optometrist and, got a new prescription, which was the same prescription because my eyes never seemed to change, so I could get contacts, etc. But whenever they were looking at my eyes, they did that thing where they take a picture of your eye and they're looking like at your retina and the blood vessels and stuff. And the optometrist pointed out some little white dots inside my eyeball, and she said that's cholesterol. She said, but they're tiny, they're normally moving through, so that's not a big problem. And then she stopped and she was like, but that one's really big. And I was like, she's like, well, I'll look in your eye and see if it's moving, because maybe since it was just a photo, maybe it was in the process of moving. So she looked into my eye and she said, no, it's not moving. When was the last time you had a physical? And I was like, forever? And she said, you should do that. So, that's what I'm doing. I don't know exactly what's up, but apparently my cholesterol could possibly be high, so I'm having a physical. The physical itself, I believe, is happening like next week, but I have to have the blood work for that today. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm getting older. It's time for, little things to start happening, right? So high cholesterol should probably be one of them. To be fair, I've also I've consumed how many eggs? A lot. Yeah, I eat a lot of eggs, so I'm not entirely certain, what the problem is, but it could be high cholesterol. And today is the first step in finding out if that's the problem.
Oh. Somebody put in a walk-in at 1 o'clock. I just was wondering if they...
I did the thing. They took my blood out of my body. That's alright, I got more. We've got quite a few other things that we need to do today. I did go to the optometrist, but we haven't actually ordered contacts, so we're going to go to Costco and do that. Bunch of other things we need to buy, kind of a grocery day. Before we go get lunch, we decided to stop over at Toys R Us because they're going out of business. And it's just wild because this has been around since I was a kid, and the electronics section's completely decimated. There's hardly anything left. They do have a
Nobby tablet thing?
What?
A Nobby?
Everything's 30% off at least, basically the entire store. Oh, we were picking up Palutena. This Amiibo was $3, so after the 30%, it's $2. There's a few video games I'm kind of interested in. I don't know if we're going to pick up anything. We're going to try and decide. Most of the stuff's been gone through, but there's still a handful of interesting things. It's mostly just sad to me that this store is going away. I mean, I understand the chain's going under, but I had a lot of memories in this store. This is where I played Pokemon trading card game as a kid. I would come every Sunday afternoon and play in the breezeway in the front. A lot of memories. It's really sad. This is probably going to be the last time we're ever at this Toys R Us. In addition to this being the place that I learned how to and came every week to play the Pokemon trading card game, this was also the parking lot that I came as a kid to wait in line at the chance to get Mew. I may have told this story before on a Q&A or something, but this parking lot, from the entrance wrapped all the way up and around up into this parking lot. I remember coming as a kid for Black Friday, being here at 6 a.m. and the line was already out here, and waiting with my parents all the way back in this parking lot at the opportunity to get Mew. They were doing some sort of special promotion. It was shortly after Red and Blue came out, I think, so it was either 98 or 99. And as you walked through the door, they gave you like a scratch-off type thing, and you could possibly win Mew. They had these little things that you scratched off, and then you had to scan them. And when you went in, you would find out if you had won the opportunity to win Mew, like to get him added to your game. And at that point, I was collecting like all of the Pokemon. I was obsessed with Pokemon Red and Blue. I was trying to catch them all, and eventually, I had all of them except Mew and Jolteon, technically. But the Toys R Us, like a year later or several months later, actually just gave them away, which was nice. So I went in and I got a legit Mew. The Jolteon came later. I had to find someone who was willing to trade me in another Eevee, but I did catch all 151 legitimately in the first generation. So after some of the last clips, reviewed the footage and noticed that there's something on the lens. So I've switched over to full manual so I could close the aperture down to f11, crank the ISO up, and actually see that there's a mark on the screen there. Now, on the other camera that we used to use, the ZS100, we had some stuff on the lens, some, you know, whatever it was, like water splashes, also dust that tends to get into the lenses, and it actually gets inside the lens, and you can't really clean that. That voids your warranty, so you have to send it in. I never got around to sending in the ZS100. I was just like, I'm going to do that soon, because the warranty ends March 2019. So it's like, I got time, I'll worry about that later. Well, now there seems to be problems with this camera, which is the LX10. To really see what I mean, check this out. It only seems to happen whenever the f-stop is super high. So I'm going to turn on this flashlight, and then you can kind of see. There's a bunch of dots. Some of that's going to be lens flare, but you can see that right there. When I do this, it shines strangely bright. I'm kind of wondering if that's not like sensor damage. There's a few other little ones that happen, like over here. No idea, man. A little freaked out by that. I've never had that happen on a camera. Like smudges, or, well, it's not smudges because you can't get a smudge under the lens, but you know, dust, things like that. That happens, especially with these sorts of cameras. Like if you have a DSLR, like you have that lens like locked into place, you're not really going to get dust and stuff underneath. But this particular, these pocket cameras, the lens retracts back into the body, and it's sitting in your lint-filled pocket, so like of course over time you're going to get stuff in there. It's just the way it is. This, however, that's unusual. So I submitted a repair request. This camera is still under warranty. It's under warranty. I think it had a 1-year warranty, and it was under, there was some sort of special thing where you can get a 3-year warranty, and then on top of that, I actually have an additional warranty. So like somebody will repair this thing. I don't know who, either Panasonic or the extended warranty I got. Someone will repair this, and hopefully in the next few days I'll know something. So that sort of sucks. That sort of sucks. What I may have to do is just shoot manual in the meantime, because this is it's only really noticeable at higher f-stop. So for example, if I start cranking the f-stop down to 1.4, I mean obviously my ISO has got me blown out. Let's see if I can change the ISO on the back side without looking at what I'm doing. I can't. There we go. So if I bring the f-stop from 11 down to 1.4 and change the ISO from 6400 down to just 400, the problem's basically gone. So I could theoretically continue to use this camera until someone fixes it, just by making sure that I shoot in manual and make sure to keep the aperture open. Yeah. Sure, I don't normally shoot in manual. The only time I shoot in manual is if I'm outside on a bright day, because the camera does a really crappy job, IMO, of deciding where the exposure should be. It really overcompensates for that sort of thing. So I might just have to shoot vlogs in manual for a few days until I get it sent off, and then I guess I'll switch back over to the ZS100, which also needs to be sent in, but I can't send in both of my cameras. Then I won't have a camera. Then I'll be shooting vlogs with the iPhone, which I guess would be fine, but the cameras I use are a little bit nicer than that. So yeah, just wanted to let you know, if you thought you saw some dots on the screen, you weren't crazy, and they could be kind of bad. As the day comes to a close, Mao has been working on a little pet project for the past few days, and that pet project is about to come to a close as well. she's been working on a book of recipes. And some of you are like, wait, is that the cookbook? No, that's not.
I mean, these could go in the.
It's not the cookbook, but yeah, some of the stuff has been refined a little bit to enter into the cookbook for sure. So Mal has, Mal does recipes. We do a lot of cooking around here, and she basically, it's driven me nuts, to be perfectly honest. She's had a stack of papers,
And some
this
notebooks
thick, and notebooks, and all this crap just laying around in a cabinet. So when it was time to, make something that she'd made before, she would go into that cabinet and just rifle through a stack of papers this thick and be like, oh wait, maybe it's in a notebook. And I'm like, oh my God. So she finally decided to do something about it. And over the past few days, she's been working on and off on this recipe book. And she's done it. She took all those recipes, retyped them up into the computer, and has those saved, so if we ever want to do something like digitally, we can. But she also reprinted those out in a beautiful little format here, and I'll kind of show you what she's been working on. So like they all follow this like visual format.
You want me to just page through them all?
Yeah,
Because
just
they're all right here.
Yeah, so people can see that they're all kind of the same. So pretty great. So now this recipe book is going to be filled with these things, and they're going to be sorted by these little tabs that Mal picked up. So you got breakfast, everyday grill, appetizers, bread sides, salad, slow
And those
cooker.
go in these.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a process, but this is going to make things a lot better for us, because the fact that Mal has to find the recipe has been stupid. It's been really stupid. Now she'll just be able to open the binder and be like, I'm looking for, this. Boom, here it is. It'll save so much time. It'll be great. And it's also visually pleasing to look at. Like, that's a very pretty binder, pretty little design. So, good stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I already submitted the repair request for this camera, and I'm going to try and get that sent out as soon as possible. I'm sad because the camera has to leave me, but that's all right. I'm just going to switch over to the ZS100, and though they basically look the same, the cameras are very, very similar. The only difference is that I don't have a screen to look at, so I can't frame my shots. I just have to say, well, that's probably pretty close. So for the next little bit, until I get this camera back, things might be a little wonky, but I'll probably switch over to the ZS100 tomorrow. So hopefully the shots won't be too bad. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?